Okay, last night there was a film at the Palace Nova East End Cinema that completely sold out. People were being turned away from this film, and we are so lucky today to have the writer, the maker of this film, in with us right now. His name is Domeyko Rowland, and the film is called Being in Heaven. It is absolutely amazing, and clearly, by the amount of people that are wanting to see it, there must be something in it.
Yes, that's right. It's a specialist film in the sense that it's for people who are interested in their own personal development or transforming their lives, improving their lives in some way or another. Nobody really makes these kinds of films. They're very rare. And I've been running seminars all across the country for 20 years, and we've had 220,000 people come to them.
Wow.
But there's a lot of people who didn't come because they don't like to go to a seminar for whatever reason, but everybody likes to go to the pictures. So I thought I'll make a film about these same subjects. So I think the reason that it's very responded to is because if you go to bookshops, you find that there are walls of personal development books.
So many.
So many there. 20 years ago, there was like 4 in the back corner. And people realise...
It was all Sandra Ray 20 years ago.
Well, that's right.
Love can heal your life. And
that's the one, exactly. So I decided I'll make a cinema film, a proper story with actors and, you know, in a set. And we shot it at Fox Studios. That's with top crew and cast and everything. So I thought I'll put this out and see how it's gone. And we've had a release in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide now, and some smaller cities. And everywhere it goes, it tends to attract people, who, of course, who are interested in these subjects, and then it rolls on. We get extended weeks of screenings after it, so it must work very well for people.
When you do go to the self-help section of the bookshops, there are various titles for various problems, I suppose, or various predicaments that people can find themselves in this wonderful journey that we call life. What does Being in Heaven what category does that fit into?
Well, with what we do is we try to give the whole skeleton of the information, and in other words, there's nothing missed out. So that whether you want to improve your relationships, you want to become more creative, you want to improve your self-esteem, you want to get your money act together, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It all comes down basically to the mind, to how your mind functions, how you were conditioned by your upbringing. We have a lot of people interested in parenting coming along because they want to give their kids a much better chance in life. And so I think the reason that we've been so popular with our work in general, and the largest in the country, is simply because we do cover every aspect, the main aspects of human life. And once you get relationships, money, career, self-esteem together, you can handle everything else.
Yeah.
So that's what we've gone for. We've gone for it. And really, it's not rocket science. Anyone can work it out. But it's just like driving a car. You've got to have someone tell you how to do it. And so that's what I specialise in.
Do you think that the biggest problem with people these days is that they do get caught in a rut and they create their own walls and they can't see beyond them, and they just think, oh, well, this is my life, this is my crappy relationship, this is my crappy job, this is my crappy house, this is all it's ever going to be, poor me, and don't realise that actually you can kind of realistically do whatever the hell you want in this life.
That's exactly right. The rut is the perfect description of what it is, and it's just really a very deep ingrained habit pattern. All those things you mentioned are literally that, and they come from what's happened in your past. You fall into the rut. You don't know it's a rut. You think that's all life's got to offer. You aren't aware that you can change anything. It's not in the education system or the universities.
Yeah.
They just don't have these kinds of self-development opportunities in the mainstream, which is really odd to me. But anyone, within a matter of weeks, can radically transform their life if they're given the right information. We do it all the time with thousands of people.
So Being in Heaven is your teachings from your life as a teacher, I suppose, as a self-improvement specialist, and it's put into a film. So can I walk away from seeing Being in Heaven with the tools?
You will certainly
just to start?
You'll certainly get the explanation, you'll get the tools, and also what you'll find is you'll get the higher things of life, that you'll understand that there are many other greater opportunities, because that's our real work, is how can we increase our awareness, our consciousness of who and what we are, and all the things that are in the brain-mind complex that we just actually never touch. We don't know they're there. We should all live in a natural state, which is a state of happiness. We should be literally filled with happiness, which is an energetic. But due to the upbringing, what happens in our family life, school life, and in society in general, we literally close down and contract because you have to. You can't run wild and free. You have to be tamed. We're all wild animals that are tamed. So those contraction patterns, which are only habits, block the energy system, stop you being happy, and then you look outside yourself for happiness, instead of realizing that happiness is a free flow of energy from within yourself.
It's a brook that bubbles up within you.
That's it.
It
That's
is
beautiful.
so. It is. You
It
can
is.
use that.
Yeah, I'll use that. I'll give you a credit.
So when people do look for happiness, is that where they start taking drugs? They maybe drink too much alcohol. They perhaps go and have a series of bad relationships because they think that their happiness can be found elsewhere, and that in fact someone else is responsible for their happiness.
That's exactly right. People who don't understand this look outside for someone to make them happy. It's a mistake. It'll never happen, because you can get someone to give you a little bit of pleasure occasionally, but you certainly can't get happiness, because happiness is a free flow of energy through the system, and it's forming a new habit, if you like. But there are certain things one has to learn, one has to know, because the whole of the way the mind is structured is something that is necessary to know in a step-by-step way, and you have to change your life in a step-by-step way. You don't go from deep negativity to sort of full bliss, enlightenment or something. You have to pass through positivity on the way. So getting through to positivity means making your life work in the way you want it to. And most people are completely unaware that they're living out the vision that they have for themselves, albeit in their subconscious mind. And the vision that they have for themselves is that which was conditioned into them by their upbringing. And most of us are just on the run. The mind follows images, it follows thoughts, that's it, there's nothing else in there. So if you do not work on creating the new vision for yourself or changing your thought patterns, then you will live out the past forever. And many people do that. We all know people who marry, divorce, marry again, find they've married more or less the same person.
Yeah.
Because the patterns will play out. We're almost like computers in that we're programmed, and we play these things out over and over again throughout our life.
So do you have to actively, in order to rewrite that history, I suppose, or in order to have a new vision, do you have to be really active about that? In that, do you have to, you know how you see some people with the post-it notes and they have all the affirmations everywhere, and I am a good person, today I will achieve. Is it that sort of stuff that you advocate, or is it a bit deeper?
It's much deeper. That's a good thing, but you have to understand the personality and its structures. And I teach these things and make videos on these things for universities, so I've got a good understanding of it. It's not a simple, frothy kind of thing. It's intelligent work. Again, it's not rocket science, but it's just like anything else that you learn, whether it's the piano or karate or whatever. You start in a simple way and you build up. But I think the most important thing is that all of us have a higher intelligence within us, and we experience this sometimes as coincidences, as sort of being in the zone where life starts to go in the way we want it to. We have these glimpses of that so-called higher intelligence, and what one needs to do is to pay attention to those possibilities, because at the moment most of us are not living in touch with what we call the superconscious. You have the conscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious, the higher part of the mind, intuition, inspiration, those kinds of things. And we need to turn our attention to it, because if you do, you'll be shocked and stunned at just how great things can become. I mean, very, very quickly. Transformations. We have so many emails and phone calls.
Yeah, can you tell me some stories? Do you have any offhand stories where, you know, someone's come to one of your seminars and obviously been having a fairly, you know, crappy life and all of a sudden turned it around? Yeah,
we have many, many ones of those. I had one only yesterday. In fact, somebody phoned it, so I'll do a most recent one. This was a woman who was very highly stressed. Marriage had broken up. Trouble with the children who were older, grown-up children. She was very, very neurotic. I mean, highly neurotic, and she couldn't get her act together in any way. In her life, she'd sold her house. She'd been cheated on a house deal, lost $400,000 on the house. I mean, it just went through over and over and again. Nice woman, but she just was lost. So we gave her the means, the tools of what to do. Came along to see one of our things that we do. And I spoke to her. This is 4 months later only. This woman now is completely stable. The neuroses is completely gone. She's centered. She's happy. Her voice tone has changed. She's bought a house at a cheaper rate than it was really, you know, she's done the other way. She's flipped it. And everything's working well for her, and she's now taking up writing. Now, this is 4 months only.
After doing your seminar?
After doing the seminar. She came away. We did a 3-day seminar, a retreat up in Byron Bay. She came to that, and just turned her whole life around. Happy as a lark now.